sides. Well, there's no distributive property. I can't combine anything because there's nothing to combine. Minus 8 on each side. This goes away. Negative 6 less or equal to 15 plus 7a. I'm going to do minus 15 here. I'm going to do minus 15 here. This is negative 21 less or equal to 7a. I'm going to divide both sides by 7. And a, well, negative 3 is less or equal to a. Graph my solution. And again, if you don't like this way and you want to switch it, switch it. A is greater or equal to negative 3. So you can switch sides. The a goes to the other side and negative 3 goes to the right side, but you switch the sign. So this or this, right? Same thing. Now, that says negative 3. I'm going to keep it to the original. The original said negative 3 is less than these numbers. So here's negative 3. Here's negative 2. Here's negative 4. So first of all, it's shaded. Negative 3 is smaller than which numbers? The numbers on this side of the world or on this side of the world? Well, easiest thing to do is to pick a value for a. Pick a equals 1,000,000. I'm going to pick a very large number. Now plug it in here. So negative 3 is less or equal to 1,000,000. Is that true? Yes, it is. And where is 1,000,000? 1,000,000 is on this side of the world. And that's where you point the arrow. So every number to the right of negative 3, including negative 3, is part of that solution. Okay. Now remember I said when you have the variable on the right side, on the left side, then wherever the inequality sign points to is where you point the arrow. So that's the advantage of having the variable on the left side. That's the advantage. For me at least. 14. 13 plus 2v minus 8 plus 6 greater than negative 7 minus v. Yikes. All right, combine like terms. There's definitely something to combine. I can combine 13, negative 8, and 6. 13 minus 8 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. So I have 2v plus 11 greater than negative 7 minus v. Get rid of the smaller variable with the smaller coefficient, I mean. So I'm going to do plus v. That goes away. 2v plus v is 3v plus 11 greater than negative 7. Minus 11, minus 11. Hang on a second, did I just do 13 and 8 is 5. 5 plus 6 is 11. Just making sure. And, oh, this is negative 7. I don't know where I got negative 8, sorry. So I get 3v greater than negative 18, divide both sides by 3, and v has to be a number greater than negative 6. So my solution, here's negative 6, here's negative 5, here's negative 8. Don't shade and pick any number on that solution. Sorry, on the previous one I forgot to check, so I'm going to do a check. I'll take my original equation, and I'm going to pick, and notice that 0 is over here, right? 0 is part of my solution. I'm going to pick 0. You can pick 0. I highly suggest you pick 0. So I'm going to go 13 plus 2 times 0 minus 8 plus 6 greater than negative 7 minus 0. So I replace v. So I'm going to use v equals 0. If I do that, on the left side, well, 2 times 0 is 0, so this goes away. 13 minus 8 is 5 plus 6, so I get 11. Is greater than negative 7. Is that true? Yes, it is. We're good here. Sorry. Got a big coffee. Number 19. Ugh. Number 19 has a little distributive property. Um, 28 minus k greater or equal to 7k minus 28. Yeah, variables on both sides. Let's get rid of minus k. I'm going to do plus k, plus k. That goes away. I get 28 greater or equal to 8k minus 28. I'm going to do now plus 28 here, plus 28. That goes away. I'm left with 56 is greater than 8k. Divide by 8, and I get 7 is greater than k. So the solution, so k can be any number that is less than 7. So here's 7, here's 8, and here's 6. Circle and 7. 7 is part solution, so we shade. And 7 is greater than all these numbers, which are numbers to the left of 7. So, and again, any number to the left. So when you do your check, you can pick any number, and I will pick 0. So 28 minus 0 is greater or equal to 7 times 0 minus 4. 28 minus 0 is 28, and is that greater on the other side? On the other side, I have 0 minus 4 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. So that is true. So everything is okay. What number was that? 28 minus k. So that was 20. No, that wasn't 20. That was 19. So now I got to do 22 and 24. 22, negative 2. Ooh, whoever picked 22, you picked a nice one. And I'll tell you why in a second. That's the expression. Negative 4 plus 4x minus 4x minus 20 less or equal to negative 24. Combine like terms. Well, let's combine negative 4 and negative 20. We get negative 24. And then 4x minus 4x equals 0. So that goes away. And then I have this. Now, think about what that meant. Right? So, when you get to this, what does that mean? Let me write the previous sentence here. I'm going to write it over here. Negative 4 plus 4x minus 4x minus 20 less or equal to 24. But allow me to do something here. Let me combine these two. I get negative 24 minus, well, I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to combine. I'm just going to keep it for a second. Less than negative 24. Now, here is where maybe you saw something. So let's say x equals 10. If I plug it in here, I get 4 times 10. And if I plug it in here, I get negative 4 times 10, which is negative 40. So I get 40 minus 4, and that eliminates each other, right? And I'm going to be left with negative 24 is less or equal to negative 20. Let's pick another number. X equals negative 8. If I take that and plug it in here, and then plug it in here, I'm going to get 4 times negative 8, which is negative 32. Negative 4 times negative 8 is positive 32. So these two will again be 0. And again, I'm going to be left with negative 24, which is less or equal to negative 24. So what is that telling you so far? It tells you that no matter what you pick for x, when you plug in here and you plug it in here, you're going to have two opposites, right? You're going to have a 50 and a negative 50. You're going to have 2/3 and a negative 2/3. You're going to have two values that are additive inverse, and they equal to 0. And you're going to be left with negative 24 less or equal to 24. So what does that tell you? It tells you that for this particular inequality, the solution x can be all real numbers. Any value of x that you plug in here will make this inequality where the left side is going to be negative 24 and the right side is going to be negative 24. And it's going to create a true statement. Okay, nice one. 24. Ooh. Negative 2, 5 plus 6n less than 6, 8 minus 2. All right. So we get negative 10 negative 10 minus 12n less than 48 minus 12n. Uh-oh. So you notice something here. So let's keep going. So the next step you would do, you would add 12n on this side, and you would add 12n on this side. You take this away, right, it becomes 0, that becomes 0. So you have negative 10 is less than 48. So think about, let me write the previous statement, negative 10 minus 12n, and then that's less than 48 minus 12n. So again, we have two terms here, these guys here, that are exactly the same. So on the left side, I'm going to take a value for n, multiply it by negative 12. On the left side, I'm going to do the same thing. But the difference is that here on this side, I'm going to subtract 10, well, but on the right side, I'm going to add 48. If I take the same exact numbers, and on one side I subtract 10, and the other side I add 48, guess what? This side over here will always be smaller, which is that's what this says, than the right side, no matter what value of n. So this statement will always be true, right? So no matter what value for n, and you can take a few, pretend n equals 2, n equals 5, n equals -7, plug it in here. You will notice that the left side will always be less than the right side. So this one is, again, all real numbers. I don't know how many of you will still be watching this, but I am doing 23. Because 23 is one that we should have picked. So we get 3, 1 minus 2x is greater than 3 minus 6x. Distributive property, we get 3 minus 6x greater than 3 minus 6x. Now, you will notice that the expression are exactly the same. Exactly the same. So whatever value you pick of x here, right, you're going to multiply by 6 and then add 3. Multiply by 6, add 3. So let's pick one. X equals 10. Just because it's easier. 3 minus 6 times 10. And on this side, we get 3 minus 6 times 10. So 3 minus 60 greater than 3 minus 60. And we get negative 57 greater than negative 57. Well, is that a true statement? It's not, because negative 57 is not greater than negative 57. It's equal to, but not greater. So what you should be, which you already know by now, is that you're doing exactly the same thing on the left as you're doing the right side. So you're going to get the same value here as this value. But because they're same value, guess what? It will never, the left side will never be greater than the right side. It's the same exact number. If it was like this, that'd be a different story, but it's not. So for this one, because the left side is exactly the same as the right side, there's no solution. There is no value of x that you can plug in here and here to make that inequality true. Okay? And that's it.